From the beginning of motion picture history, Hollywood has tried to show you what the afterlife is really like.
Good afternoon and welcome to Judgment City.
So, is this what you thought it would be?
Thought what would be? Where am I? Is this heaven?
No, it isn't heaven.
Is it hell?
No, it isn't hell either. Actually, there is no hell. Although I hear Los Angeles is getting pretty close. Well, Daniel, let me tell you what's going on. When you're born into this universe, you're in it for a long, long time. You have many different lifetimes. And after each lifetime, there's an examining period, which you're in now. You see, every second of every lifetime is always recorded. And as each one ends, we sort of look at it. Look at a few of the days, examine it. And then if everybody agrees, you move forward.
What do you mean move forward?
I mean move forward, continue onward. The point of this whole thing is to keep getting smarter, to keep growing, to use as much of your brain as possible. For example, I use 48% of my brain. Do you know how much you use?
47?
3.
I'm sorry?
3.
I use 3% of my brain?
Yes, don't worry about it. Everybody on Earth uses 3% of their brain. 3 to 5%. That's why they're there.
3? 3%? 3%? You mean nobody on Earth uses more than that?
When you use more than 5% of your brain, you don't want to be on Earth, believe me. Well, not that your takeout places aren't lovely, but there are many more exciting destinations for smarter people. Now, being from Earth as you are and using as little of your brain as you do, your life has pretty much been devoted to dealing with fear.
It has?
Well, everybody on Earth deals with fear. That's what little brains do.
What are little brains?
That's what we call you folks behind your back. Forgive me.
Who are you?
Well, I'm just like you. I was on Earth a long time ago. But I advanced. I moved forward. I got over my fears, and I got smarter. Did you have friends whose stomachs hurt?
Every one of them.
It's fear. Fear is like a giant fog. It sits on your brain and blocks everything. Real feelings, true happiness, real joy. They can't get through that fog. But you lift it, and buddy, you're in for the ride of your life.
God, my 3% is swimming. What are you reading?
You wouldn't understand this. It's just numbers.
You read numbers?
Yes, sir.
So I'm on trial for being afraid.
Well, first of all, I don't like to call it a trial. Second of all, yes.
Well, what if I'm guilty? What happens to me?
Don't think innocent or guilty. Worst comes to worst, you'll go back to Earth and you'll try it again.
Well, what do? You just keep going back until you get it right?
Well, you don't keep going back. Eventually, they'll throw you away.
The show will begin in 30 seconds. Welcome to the Past Lives Pavilion. In a moment, you will be asked to place your right hand on the plate next to you. An image of yourself in a former life will soon appear. When you have seen enough, simply remove your hand from the plate. Since we want to be fair and accommodate everyone, you will be limited to 5 past lives only. Thank you. Please place your hand on the plate now.
What the hell is this?
Elizabeth, time for supper, darling.
Be there in a moment, Mumsy.
What the hell's going on here?
Come on, men! To the castle!
it.
It's incredible.
Who are you?
I'm Prince Valiant.
Really?
Yeah. Who are you?
Dinner.
I was a prince, I was a whaler, I was a tailor. God, it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. You were a native?
Yeah, and a dressmaker. That's all I saw.
I think that's so weird. You were a dressmaker, I was a tailor. Isn't that interesting? You want some?
What's going on? And what I'm teaching is today is you are basically food. And you need to understand what it is you're doing down here and what it is you are. All right, so let's start from the beginning. We can start here now. Your chickens, your cows, do not know that they are food. They have no idea. Their only existence, let's say a chicken or a cow, is to feed you. They have no other use. It's not like you see chickens running around in the forest on the Serengeti, a bunch of wild chickens. They're dumbed down turkeys made for one and one purpose, to eat humans, to be hot wings. But the chicken doesn't know that. It thinks its whole existence is whatever the fuck a chicken thinks its purpose: eat shit off the floor, fuck other chickens. It has no idea that ultimately it's born for the sole purpose for us. So our ego doesn't usually allow us to think of ourselves in such a demeaning way. But the reality is, to get straight to it, you are a food source. You are a food source. You're not eating physically. Your energy is fed off of constantly. The human body is nothing but a tool to trap an energy in to start creating things. Those things are called, we'll say, elixirs, but chemicals that the body makes, chemicals that the organs make based upon either love or fear. It's clear it must be more of a delicacy to have these fear-based emotions and fear-based elixirs and chemicals created in the human body for these archons to feed off of. So just like we eat chickens, they feed or eat off of the emotions that they help to inspire. Earth is a feeding ground. This matrix is a feeding ground. You are being fed off of based upon your energy. So let's think about something logical. I started doing this in the live, but let's just get it all under one sitting. If we're doing something as simple as this, moving our hand, this takes energy. This takes energy. What gets stronger if we visualize? If I see a ball here that I'm holding and moving, and then that ball could represent anger or happiness. So let's say happiness. I have a big ball of happiness and I swallow it. Why do they tell you to do meditations like that? Many like that, with deep visualizations. Because the ancients understood with your thoughts and your movements, you're actually dealing with energy. In this case, I just took what I deem to be happiness, my visualization, my energy that I see happiness, and I consumed it. Or I could take what I consider waste, dark, evil, disgusting, pain, blah, 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 rolling in the ball and push it away. And there's something that even wants to eat off of that. So there's different entities that were created or created through the mind that need to feed, They need to feed ferociously. So you have to go back into the mythology to understand a little bit about the story of how this came into being. They show you in movies like Jupiter Ascending, Dark City. They even showed in Stargate that Ra was this old vampire, this old entity. They showed in Clash of the Titans 1 and 2 that the gods were dying because the humans weren't praying to them. They showed you in, what's that Showtime movie about the gods? Khadija, what's that TV show on Showtime? What's that TV show on Showtime talking about the gods? What's the name of it?
American Gods.
American Gods. Thanks. I showed you in American Gods where they're having this debate, the new gods versus the old gods, and pretty much who gets the human's attention so they can feed off the human. Right. They tell you all the time what it is you're doing down here. So in the mythology, you have, to make it quick, and you can go on YouTube and find Gnostic mythology. There's this pristine God, the creator of it all, that nigga, and creates these 8 gods under him. Then you also have the 8 Ogdad in Egyptian pantheon. At the very bottom was Sophia, the great mother, who couldn't see or have direct access to that pure energy or that pure light. She has a child without the divine spirit. It becomes this bastard birth. She tried to get rid of it. She threw it in the abyss, and in the abyss, this thing creates this ego and creates this world to serve him as the Lord Almighty. That world he created, of course, was here. And on that world, to worship him, he created a system called nature. The shit y'all trying to be. I'm a natural black man and black woman and all the rest of that crap. Nature is nothing more than a food-eating circle that will never end. It's called the food chain. And it's based upon predator and prey. So it's based upon certain elixirs as the hunter and the predator that come into play. And then certain elixirs that are fear-based that happens to, let's say, the zebra as prey. And that energy is fed upon by this God called Jehovah, Yahweh, this demiurge. Now, in the mythology, he eventually comes into a session with these archons, or these so-called evil angelic forces called archons. And the archons pretty much show him how to turn it up a level. Because in the middle of all of this, the great mother, Sophia, who's created this bastard birth, said, oh shit, this is fucked up. And partitioned that one divine source for his sparks of light to endow it in one of the animals on the planet to change or to try to fix or balance out the floor. That animal, of course, was man, and those divine sparks was the soul. So that's where you get I'm a jealous God, because the soul is older than the actual God who's supposed to have lord over you and creator of this matrix. So this Archon is an old race of motherfuckers. And this old race of motherfuckers said, we know how to get, since you set this up right, we know how to get this feeding on. We can create through what they do. We know how to work up against the soul. So the soul's idea is to build